Hi, today we're going to talk about competency-based interviews and what to expect from them. So I have coached loads of clients to date on preparing for competency-based interviews. Lots of them have been very nervous. A lot of them have misconceptions around, okay, I need to go into this interview and prove that I already know how to do this job, when that's not really the case. What I like to do, whether it is preparing for interview or whether it is building a CV or thinking about my job search strategy, is really put yourself in the hiring manager's seat or the interviewer's seat, okay? And think about it from their perspective. So I suppose the benefit of a competency-based interview for the interviewer is that it gives them the opportunity to ask questions that will tease out whether this candidate is competent for the role. Okay, so it's not that they're looking that, okay, you know the ins and outs and the processes and how everything works within this company and you're ready to hit the ground running and start this role tomorrow. It's that with the right induction and training for this specific job, that you are already hold the core competencies that they need. Okay, so if it's a management position, okay, they were looking for core competencies around leadership, around organization, around communication skills, around managing relationships. Okay, and I mean the list of different types of competencies is extensive, and different organizations will have different competency based frameworks specific to different roles. Typically, when you've been called for interview, especially a competency based interview, you should be given an indication as to what the competencies are for that role. If that's not the case, go back to the job description and try and figure it out yourself by highlighting the different keywords. Like, is there a bit on leadership there? Is there a bit on organization? Is there a bit on communication? Is there a bit on adaptability or analysis or managing relationships or strategic thinking? As I said, the list is extensive. Okay, but again, if we're putting ourselves back in the interviewer's seat, okay, within a competency-based interview, they are going to ask you questions such as, give me an example of a time when you showed leadership skills, okay? And then what they expect from you is to give an answer around, okay, well, in the past, I demonstrated leadership skills through a time when I led on a project with X amount of people involved. This is what I did in terms to structure everything in a way that we met our deadlines. This is how I communicated all the necessary information to the team, and the result was that we met our KPIs. Now, obviously, you're going to give a lot more detail and in-depth insights into that, and your thought process and how you work within that type of environment. But essentially, what you're showing to the interviewer there is you are proving that I am competent for this role. So it's not that I already know how to do this job. It's that, okay, this job requires somebody who can show leadership skills. And I am that person because I have demonstrated that in this previous role. And I've just articulated that to you. Okay, so for me as the interviewer, then that's all tick, tick, tick in the boxes. Okay, so with any of those instances, you want to put yourself in the hiring manager or the interviewer's seat. And what you will find is the majority of interviews today, whether it is specified that it is competency based or not, a lot of the questions are probably going to be framed around show me a time when, because it's beneficial for the interviewer, because it's giving them a better insight. Now, they are highly likely to still ask you questions, the age old, what are your strengths and weaknesses? It could be more about where do you see yourself in 5 years? It could be how would your friends and family describe you? It could be why did you apply for this role? Why you? Talk me through your resume. All those typical types of questions, and maybe a curveball here or there too, not to make you nervous. With the right preparation, you'd be ready for all of that. But absolutely, one of your first steps in preparing for any interview should be to look at the relevant competencies for it, and then think about your examples, your facts that you can put behind how you can prove that you are competent for this role. Now, there's loads more to it in terms of how to structure your answers and a bit more detail on what the interviewers are looking for. I'm sure you've heard of the STAR method before, and I will have another video on that on my page as well. I also have an extensive guide in how to prepare for competency-based interviews. You'll find that on the link below. If you've any questions, get in touch, and also please like and subscribe.